I feel great. I feel great beating up younger guys. Like it feels, it's very satisfying. Yeah. I'm not going to be shaving my chest, got my own hair. Somebody's going gray and say like gray hair come in and.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. I never thought I'd interview someone, let alone Bashir by himself. I mean, just wanted to have a conversation, and turns out we pull out the camera and have a conversation, decide to record it, and Bashir Bhai was kind enough to actually give me the idea of having a conversation on camera. So, Bashir Bhai, how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Yeah.
And
how are you doing?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah. I see you very regularly now.
Yes,
Yeah.
and thanks to mixed martial arts, thanks to ONE Lumpinee especially, and thanks to Fairtex, that we get to meet quite often. And it's been a while since I had my cookies, so I'll hold that against you.
Yeah. Well, you're coming very regularly now. So
Can't really move.
Yeah. Cookies are. It's been a long time.
It has
Had some
been.
cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the last time was Anita's fight when we had the cookies, right?
No, I think I brought them to Fairtex when we did the
Oh,
mic
yeah,
interview with
right.
Danielle. Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of cookies, it was Danielle Nasser Mirza's birthday yesterday.
Oh,
so,
right.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I didn't
Happy
wish him
birthday, Mr.
Happy
On the
birthday.
Mic. Happy birthday to the Podfather. He's doing some not even great, it goes beyond words. The work that Danielle is doing is just absolutely crazy. No one had ever thought he would do something like this, or anyone would do something like this in Pakistan. I'll just, start linking things.
Yeah.
I was just watching his podcast yesterday.
Yeah.
And with Ahmed Mujtaba.
Yeah.
And first off, starting off with being the godfather of the Pakistani MMA scene. How big? I mean, the magnitude of this fight. Everyone knows how big it is, but how big do you think it is for you to have Ahmed Mujtaba compete in one championship on American soil against Sage Northcutt? I mean, he's a one championship representative as well, so no questions or nothing related to official decisions or no official talking related to one championship. But as a Pakistani mixed martial arts pioneer, what do you feel the magnitude of this fight is?
I mean, there's always a new milestone that just so it's huge. It's really, really huge. I actually I link back a lot with when I fought the first time, because there's a lot of weird parallels. We're both the same age.
Okay.
Right? I was 30 when I fought, he was 30 right now.
Yeah.
Coming in as underdogs. When I fought, it was kind of the first time on the international stage, right? But ONE was still mostly an Asian promotion, right?
Yeah.
So it was kind of in Asia. And now this time when Mujtaba is fighting, he's fighting on American soil, right?
Yeah.
First time North America. So I see a lot of parallels in that way. I fought on April 5th. He's fighting on May 5th, right? 10 years. So,
Right.
I'm bringing a lot of superstition into this. The stars are aligning.
Our line, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's huge. Every time something like this happens, whether it's Pack Fight Club, where it's oh man, we've got a cage now, or it's guys winning international belts, like yourself, right?
Right.
Did you get the first one?
Nah, this was my second international belt.
No. But the first international belt, was that you?
Yeah,
it was
me.
you. Yeah.
Because technically it was Ahmed and I both.
Right,
But
yeah.
I fought a fight I fought
before,
and then
yeah.
Ahmed fought right
Yeah.
after me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but so winning international belts, each time it's wow, so it's great. And after 10 years, I don't get super well, this is it. We've made it, because I know the road is and the journey's not finished, right?
Yeah.
So it's just part of the process. So I don't want to feel this is going to be the greatest moment ever and nothing's ever going to top this, right? Because it will. Inshallah, it'll just keep progressing. But it's huge. It's really huge. I think more so. I mean, for Pakistan, it's big. I don't know how much it's entered mainstream Pakistan, right? I don't think it's entered that much. Not a cricketer playing I don't think it's at that level.
I think it has, kind of has, because I'd say that we have surpassed any other sport other than cricket. We've surpassed any other sport. I personally think we're right now we're the number 2 most watched sport in Pakistan, because I remember this one time Coach Atif and I were in F10 Markaz having some dal chawal, and I was just messing with him as usual, saying, Coach, I'm pretty famous, and he's like, when I'll say you're famous, when a random guy, we go to the most desi places, to the melayest places of all, and a random guy comes to you and he says, oh, I've watched you fight, I'm a fan. And we're just joking about it. We're in the car, we get out, we go to this place to eat dal chawal, and there's a bunch of guys sitting behind us, and like they're looking at me. And I get that pretty often, and because of the tattoos and all. So the guy taps on my shoulder and says, excuse me, are you that fighter guy that does the cage fighting? I'm I'm a big fan. I've watched your fights. And I looked at Coach Atif, I'm like, we were just talking about it. So, I mean, not as big as cricket, obviously. Because cricket's been there. I mean, we won our World Cup when UFC was founded, right? So it's been for decades.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting point. But yeah, I mean, I think it's huge. It's huge for the MMA community. For me, I really see it as like Pakistan because like the US is the biggest MMA audience in the world, right? Sure. And the most passionate like MMA audience in the world. So they get to see this like on that stage, you know. So it's great. It's amazing.
And I'll link one more thing. I usually talk about this a lot in my live sessions, or sometimes I just give out teasers saying this in my story. But I got another call from the road to UFC. It was kind of a short notice, yet again. But then I was kind of like skeptical in the beginning that should I take it, should I not take it? Honestly, now I feel like I should take it. So I was supposed to fight on May 27th, 27, 28, but then I feel like next year.
Is this happening?
No, it's not happening.
Okay.
I was about to confirm it. But my contract with MFN, I don't want to. I want to fight with MFN for some time now. I want to defend my belt, which will be December, end of the year. So I'll be staying active, obviously, for as long as I can, as much as I can actually. In the meantime, till December. So, but connecting all these points. The first time ever I came to train with you. That was for my Super Fight League fight camp.
Yeah, that was for Super Fight League too.
Skinny as hell. It was what, 12 years ago? 2012.
Super Fight, yes,
2012, I was supposed to fight Anup, the Pitbull Kumar. And
oh, really? You remember who it was?
I still remember because I remember...
it was you and Vakad who were supposed to fight. Who's Vakad supposed to fight?
I don't know about Vakad, but I remember when... Because I still remember your voice when you gave me the med ball. I had to hug it, and we're doing the cage get up, wall walks, and you were like, "Anoop's going to be much tougher and harder than this to get up against. Let's go!" And I mean, how do you see like the progression? I'm sure you're proud of it. I've seen you speak about this so much. But how does it feel?
The progression?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think like legit, like we are on the cusp of like having like a lot of really, really good fighters. So I have to say a little bit that I'm surprised at the speed of it. I have to say I'm a little bit surprised. I thought maybe we might be at this level like another 5 to 10 years from now. And I'm not talking just about like, we're just talking about how high profile his match is, right? It's not even about like the profile of it. It's like the actual skill level of the athletes. Like, the 20-year-olds right now are coming up like who are like Ismail. Like how old is Ismail? He's like 20?
21,
20,
22,
right?
Yeah.
And there's more than him. He's just one person, right? Yeah.
And there's more guys from Cax Fight Club, which I've mentioned in my previous video. The link should be somewhere down here or up here. You should go watch that video because I was talking about Mujtaba's upcoming fight. I was talking about Team Cax and how all these guys are progressing. There's Ayan, there's the I think Manan, Little Master, he's doing great. Why I know and how I know he's doing great is because when he fought Abu Bakr, you could see that he fought Abu Bakr and the skill level it showed. It showed that how much that these kids are progressing. And there's Babar as well from Team Cax. So these guys are really pushing, and these guys are bringing. I mean, I think because of Team Cax, the entire MMA scene in Pakistan is growing because now everyone's after them. First it was Team Fight Fortress. Oh, we have to be better than Team Fight Fortress. And now it's, we have a challenge, Team CAC, so we have to fight Ismail, we have to fight Babur. So everyone's trying to level up. And these guys are, I won't say I hate to admit, I love to admit the fact that these guys are the ones because of whom the MMA scene is really progressing. And Flogger's has been pretty active too.
Yeah, I don't think they have a show, relatively speaking, in a while. Yeah.
I mean, because there was ARY Warriors, there was Fighting Alliance was back, is back actually. And there's Third World League. I mean, these guys are from absolute nowhere, from copying the backyard brawls to getting into, making it mainstream. And Third World League, I would actually want to give a shout out to Third World League because these guys are the reason why a lot of people in Pakistan have started watching the mixed martial arts
and following the scene.
Exactly, because these guys are on billboards. I mean, love them or hate them, these guys are doing what we couldn't do. I mean, personally, we couldn't.
Who they're on a billboard for?
They for some brand called Neza.
Oh right,
Neza PK, right?
But what was
this
it
is not
selling?
a paid content.
Yeah, what was it selling?
They were selling the apparel because they were the Neza sponsored the apparel for ARY Warriors. And because of that, they were on billboards in Lahore on those LED advertisement screens. And they had all the MMA gear on, and they were punching and hidden pads, hidden bags, some kind of workout. So these guys are, I mean, I couldn't market MMA this well. And these guys are doing it at the age of, 18, 19?
Yeah. It's pretty incredible, actually.
Right, so I got not a lot of questions, like a couple of questions because we're kind of short on time. Let's now talk about you, that how do you, feel now? You're a professional, got kids. Some people might think, just because he's working with one championship, you might be training every day, or you may be in shape every day. Because that's a misconception. The way it is, for all the Pakistanis, mulk se bahar kaam karta hai to dollar bahut zyada paise kamata hoga. When you're out of the country, he makes a lot of money, or she makes a lot of money. So how do you kind of juggle with this? How do you manage this thing?
Manage training and having a job.
I mean, and you're training your kids too. Yeah, they're training too, right? And training yourself with the kids, looking after the kids, the job. Because I mean, I've seen Coach Sham handle this thing, and it's a hassle.
Yeah.
And he his job is training people.
Yeah.
So if it's still a hassle for him, I can only imagine how it would be for you.
Yeah, I kind of want my life to hit. I want to hit the pause button on my life. Yeah, I'm serious. There's just way too much going on. I really want to just go back to this simple, not easy, but simple life of an athlete, right? Where you have just this one focus because you don't have room for anything else, right? Yeah, you have to be focused in, and it's just I wake up. I try to wake up before my kids. That doesn't always happen, so I'm waking up with someone screaming in my face, and then because there's a show every week, so there's emergency that happens. A fight drops out, something that happens, right? Things like that. Got to attend to. It's just it's from the minute I wake up, it's just 100 miles per hour. Yeah, it's chaos. Yeah, so I mean, I am generally happy with myself in terms of my fitness and training level. I'm probably, if you look at the entire world, one of the baddest 40-year-olds on the planet, right? Yeah, who do I have? What other 40-year-olds do I have to compare myself to? People Randy Couture or so. There's in that respect, I'm content with that, right? I can still go, I train consistently. Consistently, doesn't mean I get to train twice a day, but I never stopped. When I left Pakistan and started, working full time as an executive, I never stopped training. I had to cut it down. I had to adjust things, right? But I never stopped. So I can still go into a gym, and unless someone is a professional, right? I feel great. I feel great beating up younger guys. It feels, it's very satisfying. Yeah, to go in there, I'll show up at the Muay Thai gym. I don't always have I would always have at least a 4-pack showing, right? I don't have that all the time anymore either, right? So, I'll come in and I'm not going to be shaving my chest, got my little hair, some of it's going gray, and say gray hair, come in and just show up and
messy looking dad bod kind.
Yeah. And it's I'm here to clinch. It's hey, you ever clinched before, man? Let me show you some tips. It's okay, well, you're going to have your neck readjusted in the next 30 minutes. It's So that's fun, or
So with all of this, you think you'll ever make a comeback?
I want to.
Or maybe a super fight. Let's say.
Yeah.
Let's say some super fight with a Pakistani or an Indian. Just because you're doing fundraising for Shaheen as well.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So maybe let's say just
Yeah, I thought about it, like a fun charity.
Someone
yeah.
from Pakistan, or do an India-Pakistan, an exhibition match kind of a thing for fundraiser, like a super fight kind of a thing. Nowadays, everyone's doing super fights.
Yeah.
So that's like the hot topic, and everyone would love to watch Bashir Ahmad fight again.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
No, I would like to. Actually, me and Danielle spoke about this. We did 3 podcasts, right?
Wow.
So I don't think this topic we covered in the one that was released.
Yeah.
But I'm very open to it, but I would need to have like a team to arrange things. Like, it can't be like, I was telling Danielle, Pack Fight Club 2, where it's like, I go in and fight, and then I run out of the cage and hey guys, welcome to Pack Fight Club, blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm going to put this down, I'm going to go, and ref somebody's fight. Like, that can't happen, And luckily in Pakistan, there are enough people who are competent enough to have an event. So things would have to align. But, even if it's not like a super fight, which I would like to do, I would like to start, I competed again, in grappling in November-ish. And that was good, because I just wanted to see what that felt like to compete again. And I enjoyed it, I just want to do that again. I want to do a striking match again, I like to have that focus. I like to, to experience the competition, right? So, it's there. The door is open for that now.
Right.
Now,
I think the fire in a fighter never dies.
Yeah.
Once a fighter, always a fighter. You'd always want to compete. You'll always have that competition mindset.
Yeah.
So, sliding away from ourselves now, I just want to, because you're in a spot where almost everyone thinks, oh, Bashir bhai can help us.
Yeah.
Right? In multiple ways.
Yeah.
So one of the ways that I think that you actually may and could help the athletes is the guidance, which everyone says, oh, we need these people to guide us, and we don't know how they want us to guide them. But I thought of this one thing where, you've fought as an athlete, you've competed as an athlete, and you've seen how it is to be an athlete.
Yeah.
Right? It's no different. I personally think it's kind of relatively easier in Pakistan because you get the media attention, you get people coming after you. I've never seen any American or any Brazilian or any Canadian go on the national television 5 times in a week just because they want to fight.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So
unless it's like a big fight.
A big fight. And that also happened after I think this Conor McGregor and Khabib shebang. When Khabib gave it the look, the face that okay, now this is personal kind of stuff. And then it's very different. But back to the question, I want to ask that, what do you think Pakistani athletes specifically need to do in order for them to score sponsorships or, the financial needs?
Yeah. To score sponsorships, really, I think you have to make the connections. It depends, right? It depends on the person, right? You would maybe have, and also you have to look at it's relative, right? What a 5,000 rupee sponsorship from your friend who runs a Coca, right? Anybody can do that, right? Anybody can do that, right? But if you're looking at a sponsor that would be able to cover your expenses to, say, fly to Thailand, right, or to Dagestan if you want to go to, or to America, and cover that, which now is running into thousands of dollars, right? So now you have to speak to somebody who's willing to get that money, right? And if you don't have any personal connections, right? First of all, I think people have to look at their personal connections first, naturally, right? That's what you go to first. Maybe you have friends who have businesses that either they'll help you even if it's not relevant at all, right? Maybe you have a friend who runs a supplement shop, right? That's relevant, right? And then you can go to them. Maybe that can work. But now you don't have those avenues. You're probably going to have to find somebody who is good at that. Because there's a couple things. One, it's very difficult to negotiate your own value, right? And that's something that I learned later, is that to go, and especially if you have some kind of connection from somebody before, right? To go there and talk to them and be like, how much am I worth? Right? That's not an easy conversation to have, and it's a little bit awkward for both parties, right? But then to have someone as your representative, that becomes a lot more, and it's a lot more business, right? And it should be in that, because you're talking about business. You're talking about somebody, giving you funds,
Yeah.
right? For some kind of arrangement there, right? And yeah, you can do it like, those the bhai kind of thing, but there's a limit to that, right? Yeah. Unless you're very lucky, maybe you got some millionaire friend who wants to throw a bunch of money at you, right? And they happen to run like an MMA shop, I don't know, right? But most cases,
1 in a million.
Yeah, exactly. But in most cases, I think it's good to have somebody to act as your representative, right? Ideally have someone who's competent, right? And, you could maybe do better off if you do it by yourself, but find somebody you think is better than you that you trust to act as your representative. And that's one thing for sponsors.
For sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's a lot more.
Of
Go
course.
ahead and ask your question.
Personally, I was thinking that and I usually say this a lot too, that we like being a brand.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
why should someone pay you for your food? What's in it for them?
Yeah.
And even if there's something for them, I mean, will they be able to show you off?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, for example, the first time ever I saw some Pakistani get a sponsor was you.
Yeah.
Right? When you were fighting and you had the Diplex shorts.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, how did you score like Diplex as a sponsor?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't necessarily always have to have someone pay you a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Some people can give you services. Some people, just help you out in one way or the other.
Yeah.
But then I think you score more sponsors by already boosting whoever you have. Like you show others that, look, I got these people on my back, so I am supporting. Like I am like social media presence, post about them whenever you can, and then highlight them as much as you can, so other people see that, oh, okay, you're actually highlighting these people. So if we do the same, or if we give you more than that, maybe they'll highlight us even more. So I mean, a lot of athletes in Pakistan, I've seen that they don't do this.
Yeah, you bring up a very good point. And this is like a tactic that somebody could use is go to like a large. Well, it doesn't have to be like large, but like a brand with high value, right? So let's in Pakistan, who might that be?
Let's say Hire.
What's that?
Hire.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you go to their office and be like, look, I am willing to do this, right? Work with you for, and don't ask for a huge amount of money, right? And this is one tactic, right? You could also ask for a huge amount of money, right? But this is just a theoretical example, and once you have them on board, right, and be like, I can use your name to say that you're supporting me, even if it's for 1 rupee, right? And now you use that name. Now you go to another sponsor, right? And you go to Coca-Cola, right? And like, we have Hire with us. You don't tell Coca-Cola that they only gave me 1 rupee, right?
Exactly.
They don't have to know that, right? But they see that, and that has increased like your value as well. Yeah. But I mean, there's lots of things that you.
And then connecting the point that you made before this, the managers and all, right? I mean, you really think in Pakistan we have good managers, or who can be a good manager in Pakistan?
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of friends who have studied business.
Yeah.
And I know that they don't have an understanding of the sport, but what I feel is that a lot of people who have just the understanding of the sport and they have that the business mindset, who know how to work around, actually work their way around things. Those are the guys who actually make good.
This rules meeting.
It is?
No, we got time.
We got time.
Yeah.
So it's actually those guys who actually make good managers.
Yeah.
And for the guys who are educated and who want to, who want to put their business degrees to use, I mean, I would say, watch some fights, see how things work, and then you can, actually market these people and help them out.
Yeah.
And so getting back to what I wanted to ask you about the managers and all, you think currently we have very few managers, right? Promoters, managers, even matchmakers. You really think they need to do something better?
Well, I think this is evolving just like the athletes are. Yeah, like an athlete from 10 years ago or 5 years ago is not the same as the new crop of athletes now.
Right.
Same with the managers and the people in the industry, right? Who want to be involved in mixed martial arts, but don't want to be like a fighter, right? They don't want to, do that kind of grind, right? And I think third world or real world now is an example of that, right? Because not everybody there was like, okay, I want to be a professional and I'm willing to get my body busted up day in, day out for years and years, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's lots of room, and I'd advocate for people who want to train recreationally and fight, and they gave that platform, which is, and I commend them for it, and I think it's great.
It is.
But that's one example of people who don't want to be like fighter and like professional and do that kind of grind, but want to be involved in the sport, you know. And then you have other people who only want to just like manage like an athlete, right? There's lots of things that you can do. Now let's just talk about people who want to manage athletes. I have seen that grow, but I think it's still a ways of development. And I think it just maybe will come with the maturity of the industry,
right.
All in all. But what I've seen if someone wants to be like globally a very good manager, what I've seen some of the best ones is that actually have law degrees. Yeah, law degrees, and it's because I think not as many managers as one would think actually get sponsors for their athletes. Some do, right? But oftentimes that's like another part, you know, when you're talking about like a manager, someone who's going to represent you and deal with your contracts and stuff like that, and help find you fights. You know, they do have that business acumen, right? They do have that kind of that hustle mindset, and they want to, you know, and they have that certain mindset, you know, where they want to put their energy towards. But at a high level, not all, but many that I've seen have law degrees.
One last thing I think for the fighters, which is connected to this exact same thing. It's not a cheap sport. It's not an easy sport, of course. It's very taxing on the mind, taxing on the body. Takes a lot of time. I've seen a lot of guys who actually work part-time to make ends meet and then train at the same time. Because obviously when you train hard, you need to take care of your nutrition and everything, which needs money, right? And sponsorship and all that. Because what I had seen last time, I met a couple of athletes who said, oh, we need sponsorship. What for? Oh, because we're training. I mean, I have my own views about it, but what do you think an athlete needs to do? Have an extra skill, or like how do they need to? Because I mean, looking at you, what I learned is that having your career, fighting as a career, that's a separate thing. But at the same time, you need to make some extra money. You need to have something else to make money to you know, support your fighting career. So what do you think a fighter needs to have as a skill set, other than fighting?
Other than fighting? Actually, everyone's got a different place in life, you know. If you, I don't know, like if you happen to be like training since, like, let's take an example, somebody's training since they were like in their teens and happen to go to medical school, right? If you could work, like, I mean, as a doctor, you get paid a lot of money, right? And you wouldn't have to do that full time if you didn't want to, right? You could literally do 2 hours a day at some clinic and make enough to cover your training very comfortably. You'd be like, you know, so everyone's situation is different, right? But you know, having like a corporate job maybe where you're always on call, right? And yet, like, you may not be able to train properly, right? So you could have that skill set, but it's not going to mesh well with like a fighter's routine. But then, you know, you could just do like, you know, be working. I mean, in Pakistan it's a bit more difficult because like low wage jobs are very hard, right? You know, but like if you're in the States or in the West, like you could work at a gas station, right? Part time.
But obviously, we're talking about Pakistan, right?
Yeah. So skills, like, man, for like what, like level of like.
So let me give you an example.
Socioeconomic class, you know.
I mean, let me give you an example because this is why I commend the guys from CAX. Ismail especially, he runs his own fruit stall.
Okay.
Fruit and dry fruit. So he, during the day, he would sit on the store, like on his shop. Do business. And then when it's time to train, he'll get back home, change, all of that, go to training, and then get back to his work. And I think that kind of puts the discipline in you as well. I mean, it gets you disciplined that, okay, I have to work, then I have to train.
This is his place, though,
that
right?
Is, exactly.
So he has the freedom to choose that I want to close and then go.
But then that was a family business. So what he's doing is, I mean, I don't think if you have that kind of a discipline, because we have this thing a lot, oh, my family won't agree, ghar wale nahi manenge. But then his family is supporting him. Even they resisted in the beginning. And he told me the story when we were in Abu Dhabi for IMMAF, and he's like, Coach, in the beginning, my family said, no, you're not going to do this fighting and this and that. It's not good and blah blah blah. But then afterwards, they started supporting me because he's sitting at the fruit stall. He's working and then he's going to training. So he's not doing something which parents say you're wasting your time.
He's not neglecting the things that they want.
Exactly. Just like, for instance, if I give my own example, my parents said, do whatever you want as long as you get your degree, you do this, you do this, you do. These are the requirements. And as long as you check all these boxes, you can do what you want. Let's give example of Temur. He does real estate. Real estate, right? He's a property dealer as well.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
he's a WBC heavyweight champion now, right? And at the same time, he runs his real estate business, and then he found sponsors from within the real estate world, so from the connections.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So the previous 2 trips that he made were sponsored by some real estate company, and he made again the same thing that you said earlier, that he made those personal connections, whatever like he could. In his personal related to his work, and made those personal connections, got the sponsorship. Now he's the WBC heavyweight world champion, and everybody's gonna say, "Oh, we know the world. No, we sponsored the WBC, the boxing world heavyweight champion." So I mean, that's something to brag about too. I personally feel that a lot of athletes not only need to focus on their training, obviously have to work on having an extra skill. Doesn't matter whatever skill it is. You're good at labor. Do it. I know in Pakistan you have the culture, oh, वो तो मजदूर है, वो तो ये करता है, वो तो वो है. Doesn't matter. They don't pay your bills. You pay your bills, and if you actually want to be a fighter, you can do whatever you want and become a fighter. अपना नाम आप fighter बन के कमाओ. बाकी काम अपने fighter बनने को आप support करो.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I think I'm out of questions, and I think that's about it for now. Thank you so much, Bashir bhai.
We can do this next week.
Yes, we will.
Is anybody fighting from Fair Tax? Are you coming?
Next week?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think I am fighting on the 27th.
Okay.
So I'll be here.
Okay.
Hopefully with a cleaner face.
Okay.
And some other location.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll have more to talk about. And inshallah, we'll be kind of skeptical saying it. But, okay, I mean, since he's one representative, me saying, oh, Mujtaba will win, he has to, okay. He has to stay neutral. Everybody needs to respect that. One more thing. I know I blabber a lot, I talk a lot, but then there's a discussion, not an interview. So we drag things like, oh no, Bashir bhai to Pakistani hai, he's first Pakistani, phir ye karna hai wo. No, first off, like he's ripping one as well right now. यहाँ पे आए हैं रूल्स मीटिंग करने के, लेकिन मैंने उनको पकड़ लिया कि अभी हमने बात करनी है और लाइट्स भी बंद कर दी हैं. ये हमें इशारा हो रहा है कि आप घर चले जाएं, यानी कि get out of here, क्योंकि यहाँ पे अभी खाने का भी टाइम हो रहा है. So thank you so much, Bashir bhai.
No, thank you.
Hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
And
like 30 minutes.
Yeah, within 30 minutes. And Mark's waiting for me. Good thing I have my replacement there. So anyways, guys, like, share, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. And do not forget to write down the comments, whatever you liked, what you want to ask Bashir bhai the next time I meet him. Anything that you want to ask, I'll make sure that I draw some information out of him.
That's a good idea.
And yeah, all the good stuff. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Is there anything else?
No. I'm looking forward to questions, actually. Yeah.
Because a lot of people want to ask you questions. And then अक्सर होता है लोग डरते हैं यार हम पूछें ना पूछें क्या करें. You have any question? Comments में लिखें, मुझे मैसेज करें. मैं बशीर भाई से पूछूंगा. And we'll get you the answers. So thank you so much once again for watching, for sticking around and supporting with the Godfather himself. Kratos out.